here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. For today's video, I have my weekly check-in. We're going to be checking in for week 3 here and getting week 4 all set up. We're also going to fill in some of my monthly expenses. We took care of a lot of bills this week. So if you are interested in that, just keep on watching. I'm going to go into the back here and pull out my expense tracker for week 3. I filled this out with you guys in a separate video, which I will link in a card above if I remember, but this is all of my spending that happened this week. And we're just going to use this as a reference point to help fill in week 3. So we did quite a bit of damage in our variable spending here. I think we're gonna discover that I spent more than I budgeted for in most of these categories, but as I've said time and time again with this hybrid budget method that I've been using throughout January, the weekly budgeted amounts are to help me kind of stay on track with my budget, but if I go over in the weekly category, it's not the end of the world so long as I'm under budget overall for the month. So let's just kind of find out where we are. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and fill in my bills here that have come out. So Netflix has not come out yet. It actually doesn't come out until like the last day of the month, so that'll probably be the last thing we fill in. But Audible definitely came out. You guys know by now that I highlight all of my bills on my expense tracker in blue, so we're just going to look for the blue highlighting. Lots of bills came out this week. So for Audible, I budgeted $25, but what actually came out was $22.95. For my husband's motorcycle insurance, that is Progressive, and that is right here, and we spent $21.59 there. So that came in under budget as well, because we budgeted $25. For car insurance, that is State Farm, which is right here, and that came out at $170.02, and I budgeted $180, so again, under budget there. Lots of these bills we came in under budget, which is good because that'll help offset some of the overspending we've done in our variable expenses. Chase, I budgeted $100, that came out at $70. I really wasn't sure what to expect from some of these minimum payments on cards because of the spending we did in December, so I budgeted high, and luckily they all came in less than what I had budgeted for, which is good news. For Ashley, I budgeted $200, and that came out at $156. City, I budgeted $50, and that came out at $35. And First Merchants Bank, I budgeted $100, and that came out at $58. So that was all really good. So the only bill we have left for the month then is Netflix, which I said comes out like the last day of the month. And then of course we have to add up all of our variable spending at the end of the month and see how closely we stuck to our monthly budget. For our weekly budget, like I said, we are over budget in a lot of places. But again, not necessarily a bad thing if we're still under budget for the month. It just means that this last week in January, week 4, we're going to have to really, bring in the spending, not spend a ton. So for groceries for the week, I budgeted $132. And you can see when I added up all of our grocery expenses, we actually spent $171.16. So quite a bit more than what I wanted to spend, but I think we're still under budget overall for groceries. And the way that I find that out is I just take our $600 grocery budget that we have for the month. So this is our monthly budget, but then I just kind of break it down weekly to kind of keep myself on track throughout the month. That's how I've been using the hybrid budget method. This printable is available in my Etsy shop, by the way, and you can use it any way you want. You don't have to do it the way that I've done it. I've seen some other people using it in some different ways, and there's no wrong way to budget, you guys. So I'm going to take the $600 I budgeted for the month. And I'm going to subtract out what we spent in week 1, $252.87, minus what I spent in week 2, which was $82.01, minus what I spent in week 3, which was $171.16, and that gives us $93.96 to work with. So that will be my budget then for week 4. It's the last week of the month. We're gonna have to kind of try to keep it in check. So as long as I spend, and I'm just gonna round it down to 93, I'm not gonna write down the change, but as long as I spend $93 or less, I will be under budget for the month. So that is the goal for the week. We'll see. Groceries are ridiculously expensive, but I did just go and stock up on a few things. I know that we're gonna have to go and get a few things for the weekend, but the new month starts on Tuesday, so I do have a full 7 days to get through, so we'll see. I might end up over budget for groceries overall, and in that case, you know, the fact that some of these bills came in a lot less than what I thought will help in that scenario, but yeah, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Okay then, for eating out, I budgeted $53. We really blew past that. We spent $104.85. So, I don't know. We may well be over budget overall for this category for the month. Let's find out. So, for eating out for the month, I budgeted $200. In week 1, we spent $53.60. In week 2, we spent $40.01. Week 3, we spent $104.85. So that leaves me with $1.54. I don't even think that's enough to buy myself a cup of coffee, but it's what we've got, so I'm just gonna, for the sake of humor, I'm gonna tell myself I have a budget of $1, but really we're gonna try not to eat out at all for the rest of the month. I think we can do it. Okay, for household, we had nothing left. We'd already kind of depleted our entire household fund, and we didn't have any household expenses. So we budgeted $0 and we spent $0. So that's good. We're not over budget overall for household. But we do know then that for week 4, I apologize for flipping back and forth. I like to have my planner folded in half. It just makes my handwriting neater. But we know for week 4 that our household budget is $0. We're not going to spend anything else for household till the new month starts, hopefully. Now, if we run out of toilet paper, I'm not going to go without toilet paper, so we'll just be over budget in that category. But I think we're pretty well stocked on everything, so hopefully we'll make it through to the end of the month without spending in that category. For gas, we had a budget of $53, but we actually did not need to fill up at all this week, so we spent nothing. And so our gas budget then is going to be, you know, pretty good. I think we're going to come in under budget for the month overall with gas, which again will help offset some of the overspending we may do in other categories. So far, so good. We're not over budget anywhere yet, but we're coming real close. So my gas budget for the month was $200. In week 1, we spent $53.01, and in week 2, we spent $40, and that's all we've spent. So we have $106 that we can work with for week 4. Something tells me that's going to be no trouble, even if we fill up. I was going to say even if we fill up, it'll probably only cost us like $40, and then I wrote 40. Nope. We have 106 to work with. So we're definitely going to be under budget overall for gasoline, which is awesome. All right, miscellaneous. We did not have any miscellaneous spending for the week. Again, that's awesome. So this is another category that we may well come under budget. We started out with a miscellaneous budget of $100. And so far we've spent $13.20, and $15.57. So we've got $71 to work with for week 4, which should be no trouble at all. So you can see, like, some of these categories were really taken down to the wire, but others we have quite a bit of wiggle room in. And I'm not one of these people that's gonna like scold myself for going $20 over our grocery budget if we're $71 under our miscellaneous budget. As long as it all kind of comes out in the end, you know, being a little over budget here and a little under budget here, it all balances out, I'll be happy. So really, January's looking really good. Unless we go off the rails with spending this next week, which the end of the month is typically when I get a little stir crazy with the budget and tend to overspend. But I think we can keep it in check. I think it's going to turn out really well. We'll have to see. Okay, so my husband got his $40 as anticipated. And Austin got his $20 as anticipated. For these categories, I just give them cash and I count it as spent. They may well have all of this money still in their pockets, but it's gone from our budget. So that's that. But for myself, I do keep track. So for my spending this week, I added everything up and I spent $23.52. So I am significantly under budget as well so far. And so let's see exactly how much. So I give myself $40 a week. So we've had 3 weeks, so 40 times 3, $120 is what I started out with. And I spent $2 and $23.52. So I still have $94.48 to work with for the week, so I'm going to be good. I'm going to be under budget overall. I don't know if I'm going to roll over anything that I have left over into next month or if I'm just going to kind of put it back into the till for the new month. Haven't really decided that yet, so you guys will have to kind of stay tuned. I'll let you know once I figure it out. But for week 4 then, my husband's going to get his 40. This $94.48 is what I had left over from the first 3 weeks, and I'm going to give myself another 40 this week. So $134.48 is what I have to work with. Is that right? Let me do that again. So we do 40 a week times 4. Overall, I had 160 minus what I've spent. $134.48. Yep. So I got $134 to work with. And then Austin's going to get his 20. So let me just add up everything here really quickly and see what I have overall to work with for the week. $465. So not too shabby. Like I said, I'm not too worried if I go over budget in one category, but I'm under budget in another. So as long as at the end of the week, I don't spend more than $465 on these variable expenses, I'll call myself happy for the week. So yeah, we are winding down now. Last week of the month, I will be coming back next week to kind of close out my monthly budget and let you guys know where we stand overall. But I'm really loving the hybrid budget method. I'm really, really excited about how well we've been doing. You know, the eating out in the groceries, we're gonna really have to, you know, rein in our spending there, but I think we're gonna be able to do it. A lot of our bills came in under budget, so overall, I'm really, really happy with the way that January is turning out. So let me know in the comment section below, you guys, how is January going for you? Now that we're kind of rolling toward the end of the month, was it a good month for you? Did you struggle? I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you check out my Etsy shop if you'd like to get this printable. I have it available in this pattern And I also have my February patterns available as well. March is coming soon. I'm hoping to have March patterns available like late next week. So I'm trying to get them out a little bit sooner. So be on the lookout for that. But you know, if you're interested in my printables, I really would appreciate your support. Here's what that hybrid budget looks like for February. I'm so excited to fill this out with you guys next week. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I would love to have you come back and check out my other videos. And I'll see you then. Bye!